From the team you can trust, this is breaking news from News 8.
Breaking news to start our Sunrise Smart Start on this Wednesday. The state legislature passing a bill to legalize recreational marijuana. This after years of work by lawmakers to legalize the drug. The final step, a stop on the governor's desk today for the bill to be signed into law, and that is expected to happen later today. Erica Cost is live in Rochester this morning with more on this massive shift. Erica, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Well, you're right. It is a massive shift, but it's causing mixed reaction from lawmakers. While some we spoke to say they're happy about how this will affect our community in decriminalization, especially in black and brown communities, some are upset and have concerns as it relates to children and teens. Take a listen.
If you figure out what 5 pounds of cannabis, how many cigarettes that can make, it's 3,200 cigarettes in every household. So I think the message is the wrong message for our youth. It's going to create huge issues for our law enforcement personnel. As I understand it, there is no way to tell whether someone is driving under the influence of cannabis or not.
Now, New Yorkers won't be able to buy and sell immediately. We're told it could take up to more than a year. The state has to figure out some rules as it relates to sales and a proposed cannabis board. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
All right, Erica, thank you. The governor did release a statement about the vote late last night, saying for too long the prohibition of cannabis disproportionately targeted communities of color with harsh prison sentences. And after years of hard work, this landmark legislation provides justice for long marginalized communities, embraces a new industry that will grow the economy, and establishes substantial safety guards for the public. New this morning, 14 people have been displaced after a large apartment fire in Greece. Crews responding to Affinity Lane around 12:30 this morning. Officials say 3 people were trapped inside and had to be rescued with ladders. No injuries were reported. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Rochester seeing an uptick in gun violence, with homicides outpacing last year. The most recent fatal shooting on First Street yesterday. Police say the victim, a man in his 60s, was shot at least once in the upper body around 1:30 in the afternoon. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office issuing an alert for a missing man from Hilton. Investigators say 24-year-old Noah Kalako was last heard from around 11:30 Saturday night. He may be driving a 2019 Nissan Rogue with the license plate HJB 6131. If you have information about where he is, you're asked to call 911. Josh, I have to admit, a little distracted over the last minute or so. Looking at this shot behind you, the start of the day up at the port is absolutely gorgeous.
It really is. A live look at the port from the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse reveals dawn breaking with a spectacular array of color. You can see there, you know the old expression, red sky in the morning, take warning. Got to take warning that the weather's going to be changing in a big way here today as we go from the 60s and 50s this morning down into the 40s this afternoon. And by around this time tomorrow morning, there'll be a slushy inch or 2 of snow in parts of the area, especially into the higher terrain of the Finger Lakes. You can see some of the light showers with the cold front here this morning. So have a jacket, have an umbrella heading out the door. Even though it's mild for a little while, temperatures take that tumble. And again, there will be some of those showers before the wet snow arrives overnight tonight.
Josh, thank you. Time now for another check of our sunrise traffic. 490, 590, and 390 flowing along nicely here in the early morning hours. Do want to mention construction this morning along Route 253 from West Henrietta Road to Mendon Center Road. So take some extra time if you're traveling in that direction. President Biden set to unveil his massive $2 trillion infrastructure plan later today in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The plan would address the country's roads, internet access, and clean energy as well. Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer has more.
Good morning. Well, this is just part 1 in a 2-part series to get the economy back on track, but it could come with a tax hike.
Have you made a final decision on how you're going to approach your legislative agenda? Is it going to be one bill, or are you going to split it up into multiple bills?
I have, but I ain't telling you.
President Joe Biden will share at least some of the details as he reveals part 1 of his Build Back Better agenda in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Wednesday afternoon.
Not just modernizing our roads, our railways, our bridges, but building an infrastructure of the future.
The White House plans to invest $621 billion into transportation, $100 billion into broadband, and another $100 billion into clean energy.
What they're going to do is try to pass many of the new Green Deal measures and then disguise it under the fake title of infrastructure.
While infrastructure is generally a bipartisan issue, Illinois Republican Congressman Rodney Davis says the White House could struggle to get Republicans and some Democrats on board, especially with how the White House plans to pay for it.
He believes that there's more that can be done to make the corporate tax code fair, to reward work, not wealth.
While the White House says the bulk of the speech later today will focus on the details of the plan, the president says he could also address changes to the corporate tax system. Reporting in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
And House and Senate Republicans also want to fix the nation's infrastructure, but it is unlikely they would vote to undo the tax cuts that were passed back in 2017. Well, national news this morning, day 2 of the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, the jury hearing from those who witnessed the death of George Floyd, who died after being restrained by police last May in Minneapolis. Chauvin is facing 2nd and 3rd degree murder charges along with 2nd degree manslaughter charges. Today, prosecutors are expected to delve into how Chauvin's hold on Floyd may have caused his death. Time now for news from around the state this morning. New York is handing down new guidelines for college sports venues. Beginning Friday, fan capacity at those venues will be raised to 10% for indoor games and 20% for outdoor games. All attendees must present proof of a negative COVID-19 test or proof of vaccination prior to their entry. One of the major provisions expected to be included in this year's state budget is mobile sports betting. Sports betting came to New York, but only in the form of physical in-person wagers at the state's full-service casinos. That was 2 years ago. This year, the governor now backing an expansion that would allow for bets to be placed on smartphones and other devices. The governor's office says it could generate hundreds of millions of dollars in new gaming revenues. The budget is due tomorrow. Let's get a look at the GRE Morning Business Report now. Empire State Development announcing Carestream will expand film finishing operations in Rochester, creating up to 70 new jobs in the process. Carestream says those jobs will come within the next 5 years. Phase 1 of the plan will see the addition of 16,000 square feet at the current location at Eastman Business Park in Rochester, with the potential for additional expansion opportunities as well. Well, Visa is the first major credit card company to announce it will allow the use of cryptocurrency to settle transactions. The company reportedly launching the pilot program to use USD Coin, a cryptocurrency tied to the U.S. dollar, with Crypto.com. It is the latest sign of the growing acceptance of digital currencies by the mainstream financial industry. Something to keep an eye on there. Just like the forecast, Josh, as we put a bow on this smart start on a Wednesday.
Keeping a close eye on the development of some wet spring snow, Mark, for tomorrow in particular. Red sky in the morning, take warning. It's nice out there here this morning, but it won't last. That mild air is going to be gone with the wind. A cold front coming our way, setting the stage for some showers, but also, of course, the tumbling temperatures. It'll be cold enough by early tomorrow morning for a few inches of wet, pasty snow, especially in the high terrain, even a slushy inch in Rochester, not much along the Lake Ontario shoreline. Heading out the door this morning, grab the umbrella, grab a jacket too, because by the time we get towards later this afternoon, temperatures take a tumble, and this graphic says it all. Again, going from 60 back into the 40s just after lunchtime, and then for the time that we get towards the overnight, wet snow will be flying, especially over the Finger Lakes.
All right, Josh, thank you. That's it for us for now here on News 8 at Sunrise. Thank you for tuning in. Our next update in 30 minutes. CBS This Morning is up next. Be safe and have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.